Good evening, Swag Squad. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, Swag Squad. Tea with the Diva here. And I come to you this evening with a Real Housewives of Atlanta review. This light over here. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Episode. Hey, Karen. Thank you for joining. Good evening, love. How was your Monday? How was everybody's Monday? Y'all make sure y'all go join my membership so y'all can get some early tea from Tea with the Diva. Get y'all some early tea and some exclusive lives from me. I got one for $1.99. I got one for everybody. $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, and $6.99 for the big ballers. The big baller shot callers. So let me get off into this this review, which just was a mess. It was a mess. It just was a mess. So it started off with, and of course I didn't take no real notes, but it started out with Shamia in the bad Sterling Estates. I love her home. Her home is just really, really nice. Shamia meets up with Britt and Angela. So, hello, Anili. Hey, Kayla. Thank you for joining. Y'all please hit the like button on y'all way in. Hello, Marina. And so Shamia's talking to Britt and Angela. And Britt is expressing, hello, Steve. Britt is expressing how she feels bad about, she says she didn't sleep the night before. Angela said that she didn't sleep either. And she was just talking about how she was just so disappointed in herself that she had went as far as to threaten Kenya like she did. Hello, Argentina. And so they're talking and having hors d'oeuvres and wine. No, champagne, I'm sorry. They classy days, so they had champagne, baby. They didn't have no wine. So Britt was just sitting there, saying that she apologized. She wants to apologize to Kenya for what she did. And she was saying that that's not in her character, and that she doesn't know where that came from, and that she really didn't mean to go as hard as she did. Hello, Hasty. She didn't mean to go as hard as she did. And I kind of think it was just for a show myself. I'm definitely not. I don't believe, even though I felt like Britt just did team too much. I also felt like I don't feel like she's a gun-toting gangster. I don't feel like she was just about to pull her pow pow out and just start banging and blowing in the air. I just don't feel like that is of her character and her caliber. Um I feel like she just she was just team too much that night. I think Kenya embarrassed her when she called her a peasant. And I feel like her feelings were really hurt because I'm telling y'all, something tells me that Britt came on this show and told herself that she was going to be best friends with Kenya. And I feel like, hello, Brian, I feel like she really wanted to. You think she threatened? Oh, you think she threatened by Brit? You think so, Karen? Kenya is beautiful too, though. You think Kenya is threatened by? I never entertained that thought, Karen. I never did entertain that because Kenya is so beautiful, Miss USA. You don't get no prettier than that. I mean, besides, I mean, what is it, Miss America or Miss USA? Like you don't you can't get no. She had the title for real, for real. And I never entertained that, Karen. I would have to Brit is definitely beautiful. Brit is definitely, yes. And but Kenya is pretty too. Kenya's beautiful. Her hair is pretty. Hence why she got Kenya more hair care. I'll have to ponder over that, Karen. I've never even thought of entertaining that idea. But you could be onto something. However, I feel like I think Britt really she really got beyond ahead of herself. Because when she started doing that threatened thing, because she was so embarrassed that Kenya had called her a peasant, she kind of just went off the rails with that. So the other scene that I was tripping on is, did y'all see when Angela and Charles was talking? Charles is a fool. I don't care what nobody say. Charles is a straight nut. And Angela can't do nothing with that man. Angela can't do nothing with him. She told him, he said, what you telling me all this mess for? I don't want to know. She trying to give him the tea and put him up on game. He like, what is you talking to me? He like, what is you talking to me about this for? She like, duh. You are the closest thing to me. You're my husband. You got to listen to this stuff. He like, I don't care about them others. I think Kenya like being the prettiest of the bunch. Oh, okay, Karen. I got you. Karen. But Karen, I think all the ladies are beautiful. I think Portia's pretty. Cynthia is drop dead. Cynthia is beautiful. I think Portia's pretty. I think Cynthia is pretty. I do feel like, they can kind of give Kenya a run for her money. But Brit is beautiful. Brit is really beautiful. She is. She's a really pretty lady. She just that nose, that nasal passage. She gonna have to do something about that. But Angela and Charles, they crack me up because Charles is somebody that I think I would have left off TV. I don't think I would have let him come on. Like, you not about to embarrass me. Yes, the nose, Karen. Oh my God, the nose be killing me. I just can't do it. I cannot, especially when she just always real nasally. She just always nasally to me. And I'm just like, oh my God, can you please clear that out, son? But so also Angela stories kind of don't be panning out because Charles had a baby on her. Y'all remember when Wendy Williams was in that restaurant and right after her husband, it had got out that Kelvin had the baby by Sharina on Wendy, and Wendy had filed for divorce. When she had first filed for divorce, she saw Angela and Charles in a restaurant. Angela stopped Wendy and said, Wendy, it's just a baby. And Wendy said, has that happened to you? And Angela looked up at Charles and looked at Wendy and said, yes. And I'm still here. And then, if y'all didn't notice, in the beginning, when she introduced their family, she would go to, yes, Karen, she went to, these are my children. This one is Charles. This one belongs to the both of us. And then she said, and that's little Charles, and just smoothed right over him. She said little Charles, and then she just kept talking. She didn't say little Charles belongs to us. Little Charles belongs to him. Little Charles belongs to me. She didn't say anything about the little boy because he's the baby. She just said, and that's little Charles. She didn't go into any details. And so that told me that, yes, that told, and then especially with Wendy Williams, Wendy gonna tell it. So, and then when Wendy saw her at the restaurant and she said, it's just a baby. And it's like, what do you mean just a baby? It's not just a baby. It's just your husband done been sleeping with somebody else unprotected. So while you've been with your husband, somebody else has had your husband in the exact same form that you get him all the time. The exact same thing that's supposed to be exclusive for you. But, everybody don't leave. But Angela said, so I believe that it'll come out because she can only lie for so long. I believe that she can only give these half stories, and she'll start a story and then you won't kind of, just like the whole thing between Charles and her mother and her sister. So Charles and your mother started beefing over some food or over a recipe or over some dishes. Like why did they start, like, what is the problem between his mother-in-law and her son-in-law? Like, what is the big deal? Why can't they get along? It can't just be because of a meal, a recipe, or whatever this is. Angela is somebody who is just going to give you just enough of the story just so you can have more questions. And when they were sitting at the table, when they were at the bank, Portia, when she looked at Angela and said, oh, I heard something about your husband, but Angela checked her so hard that she didn't want to repeat, it wasn't the time or the place. She knew Angela gave her the response that let her know, not so much on my husband. Like, not so much on my husband. So, and then that's what Charles said. He said, did you check her? Why is anybody talking about you, talking about me to you? She said she didn't. She just told me she heard something about you. And then he said, and what you say? She said, and I told her, what'd she say? I told her, we not about to start this or something like that. He said, well, that's right. That's what you was supposed to do. Like, he just so ignorant. He's so ignorant. He just somebody that you just be like, I'm just going to leave him at home. I'm going to go. And then she had to tell him, yeah, something is going, I think this baby is going to come out, Karen. And then she told him, I think that he wanted them husbands. When she said to him, You gotta come with me. Hey, beautifully T. Oh, I don't know. It's beautifully T. That's some tea for me. Sheree, he used to mess with Sheree. I ain't heard that one, girl. I ain't even heard that one, beautifully T. That's news on me. I'm gonna have to investigate that. But she was like, you supposed to be going with me. And then she was like, but you would probably be the only guy. He like, so what am I gonna be there for? She like, oh my God. Then he cooking. She walk in and wash her hands. She go to get something to eat. He barking all that. Did you wash your hands? She like, yes, I washed my hands. I was like, Charles is crazy. He just old, just fickle man, just set in his ways, just stubborn, just one of them old stubborn men that you just be like, I ain't gonna say nothing else to you. I'm gonna leave you right where you stand because I'm not about to be doing all this. We're not doing all this. I'm not doing all this with you, sir. No, you can have it. Take it. But I'm gonna have to see. That might be what Portia talking about, beautifully T. She said it's true. Is it true that Charles used to mess with Sheree? So that might be what Portia talking about. I'm gonna have to check that out. So we get to the moment of truth. First of all, I do not think that Britt should have went to that event. I just don't think that I would have gone to that event. I think that that would have been one that I would have set out because, and I say that because even if you wanted to apologize and you wanted to have a conversation with her about the whole night and where you were and where your head was at and what you felt and what pushed you to say all of that about the pow, pow, bang, bang. I don't think that I would have wanted to have that conversation on such an important night for her. Now, I think that Britt probably should have. I just feel like she should have just set this one out and met her at the next outing. I mean, y'all was going to be on the show together. So y'all was bound to be at somebody's dinner together or at somebody's lunch or somewhere where you can pull her to the side and say, you know, Kenya, I got besides myself and I was a little out of my head and I'm so sorry that it came off as harsh as it did. I would never harm you or want to hurt you or do anything that would take you away from your baby. And yes, Karen, yes. So then Britt ends up deciding to ride with Lil Mama. So she got her own little Sprinter van, little Mama, little Pisces. Got her Sprinter van. What's her name? I can't remember right now. Kelly got her own little Sprinter van. So Kelly, you know, encouraging her to take the flowers and everything. Cynthia shows up to the party. Now, first of all, for those who don't know, Kenya has been trying to open up this establishment, this storefront, this hair, whatever this is. She has been talking about doing this since she first started the show. She has been wanting a brick and mortar place for her hair care products for a very, 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 very long time. And she had it last season, but production wouldn't show any of it. So that's why she was real mad at them like that. So she kind of revamped it a little bit and they gave her their word that they would, you know, showcase more of her store. So the store is beautiful, knocked down, drag out, gorgeous. So pretty. Just, it really, to me, it just looks really girly and soft and just like pleasant and looks springy and just a breath of fresh air. The actual establishment, it really looks nice. Kenya has put her heart and her soul and every dime that she had, her child's college fund, into this establishment. I didn't understand. Kelly asked if she was invited. I know the girls even. Brett King stated that she didn't invite Brett, but she could come. Yeah, because remember, Kenya had invited all the ladies prior to her and Britt getting into it. So she didn't never uninvite Britt, but she just said that, she wasn't going to put 20 on 10 or say anything else about it. So, yeah, Kenya actually, invited everybody before her and Britt started with their little powwow. And she didn't call her and tell her that she couldn't come. Shamia was saying that if Kenya didn't want you here, baby, she would get you out of here. Because remember, Kenya wanted Shamia escorted off the boat one season when Shamia was friend of the show. So Kenya ain't got no problem putting somebody out. So Shamia just told her, like, oh, if she don't want you there, oh, she would have told you. But so Britt and Kelly walk up. Cynthia Cheeks was there. Her cheeks is so high. I be looking at her cheekbones like, I wonder, did she get like facial surgery to like make her cheekbones bigger? I don't know if that's even a surgery. But anyway, her cheekbones are like beautiful. But so anyway, they enjoying themselves or whatnot. And Shamia, they all on the red carpet. They taking pictures, everything like that. I hate when Kenya wear her hair like that. The Medusa curls, I do not be. I just like when it's straight and long and really sleek. Why do that, Cam? I call Karen every name in the book. Karen, I did too, Karen. So they had the hair show. And I also wonder, did those ladies create those styles for themselves, or did Kenya choose those ladies to wear those styles? I didn't understand that they had created them styles for themselves, or had Kenya, because you could tell who was gonna win. She had a whole fountain in her ponytail. That girl was doing it up. So, but it was all very creative though. It reminded me of like how our hair shows be here in Detroit. They do all of that when they used to have the big hair shows and stuff. But so then Kenya ignored Britt. Britt tried to hand Kenya the flowers, and she tried to have a conversation. Kenya act like she was clear. She totally walked away, acting like she didn't even see her. And then Kenya gets everybody's attention. And she has 3 huge life-size poster boards. The first one, I believe she showed, has something to do with Britt being involved with some insurance fraud, something fraud. She says she did a background check, and these are the things that she found. The second one had to do with, I think, nudes that Britt had. And, and then Kenya was a video vixen too. When she said she was a video vixen in this, I'm like, you was in that video. I saw you too. In the Ferrari with Jay-Z. You was in the car, in the front seat. With the top down, with the bad money and the thing. That was you, Kenya. So, the third one was Britt allegedly performing some type of, I don't know, something on a man. Performing some type of act on a man. Which I'm sure Kenya has done. I'm sure that Kenya somebody has a video or something up there in there somewhere. She probably just done had her scrubbed off the internet and everywhere. I don't know nothing about Brit. I ain't never heard about Brit. Never heard nothing about her. Never. She had to dig deep to find that stuff. So what I want to know from Kenya is, so you hate her so much that you put all your daughter's college fund into this store and you made this about her, because nobody in the blogs today are talking about Kenya Moore hair care. Not one person. I didn't see one person say nothing about, oh, I'm going to see what type of products Kenya has. And I'm going to see what all she's putting on the shelf. I want to know what's all in her spa. What does it entail? What does the whole package consist of? I want to know what is going on there. How can I get booked? How can I make an appointment? How far are the appointments out? Like, nobody is saying this today. Instead, everybody is talking about Brit. So, Kenya, you set this up, and they said that Kenya was upset because she went to production, and production didn't say anything. Because remember, Karen, when they were riding from the bank, that outing that they had, and Kenya was like, oh, she gotta go. Oh, she gotta go. Oh, she can't be here. She gotta go. Kenya really wanted her to get fired. Yes, I was too, because you saw Cynthia bust up. Portia bust up too. And then Kenya gonna post on there, anybody, a friend to everybody is a friend to nobody. Which she was trying to talk about Cynthia, because Cynthia never draws a line and makes her stand on anything. But I think she did that last night. I think that Cynthia was very vocal in her choice. And just like she said, you're better than this. I see you way better than this. You did not have to do that. You made this about her. Like, nobody even had to know that you were beefing with. You had people at this place that didn't even know nothing about that. And she talking about, I've been that chick. I am that chick. Been that chick. Always will be that chick. Well, you need to show it. Because right now you ain't showing that you are that chick. It look like you mad intimidated to me. Because ain't no way I would have gave her all that spotlight at my joint. Not as something that I done put all my kids' money in. You wouldn't even heard that woman's name. If anything, I would have told her, you got to go, baby. Today ain't the day. We will not have the conversation today. I don't know when we'll have it, but it won't be today. I'm just going to let you know that right now. We will not have a conversation today. And that's exactly what I would do. Please, excuse me, security. Can you please, can you show her the door? Please show her. Yeah, I'm sure she's lost. Because you got to turn her around and show her where the door is. She got to go. That's all I would have done. It's no way in the world that she would have got. First of all, you said excuse me to everybody. You didn't even address it to just your girls on the show. And everybody looking like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? So if nothing else, you putting Brit on the map. You giving her more notoriety than she even deserved. Because prior to this, I was on Kenya's side. I felt like Brit just was doing too much. I ain't never liked Kenya. I always felt like she hit below the belt. I always felt like she went too low to me. Her shade just ain't fun. She always got to say something horrible to somebody. And then as soon as somebody bring up her mama, she want to have a pity party. And yeah, but Portia got to do that, Karen. That's the only storyline Portia got. Portia has nothing else. She has nothing. She's no longer married. She can't show you her husband and her husband's house. She has to do that because there's nothing else for Portia to do. That's Portia's lifeline. Drew is Portia's lifeline. When Portia looked at Drew and said, "Oh, and this energy you're giving," I'm like, Portia, what energy is she giving, baby? She ain't said nothing above a octave of 3. What is she saying? She ain't talking loud. She not cussing. She not disrespectful. What do you mean when you say this? If you're giving off this conversation, you're giving off this energy. I'm like, what is she doing, Portia? She ain't even doing nothing. But back to Kenya, I felt like she really did not. First of all, have to Kenya. You ain't never had no man. And y'all frolicked and frolicked and y'all might have made a tape or two. You ain't never had no man that you might have recorded a couple seconds of y'all session on. I ain't even about to believe that. I'm not even about to believe that. You was a video vixen too. You ain't never had a little fun time with none of those men around there. None of those. Like pot, meat, kettle. You cannot call, like Kelly said, we all done one day in our lifetime. You're not about to act like you gonna put this woman out for doing something that you done did yourself. And that's frolicked and maybe videoed or recorded a time or two or a minute or two with a man. Now you're not finna act like you just goody two shoes and you way above that. Because you're not. And then you gonna put this lady on blast because you done made somebody private investigate her. So that means you done spent money. Yeah, she threatened you. She talked some stuff. Yeah, and then there was people saying like, you don't take stuff like that lightly. When people threaten you with the pow, you don't know how crazy people is. And I get it. I can dig it. But did you really think that this lady was really finna bring a pow and she on a whole show with you? I knew that it was just talk. It was just too much to me for Britt to just be doing it. It just looked to me like Britt was having a tantrum because Kenya wouldn't pay attention to her. She was just having a tantrum and she just went extreme. She wanted to do and say something extreme so that she can be seen and heard. And Kenya was mad because, of course, when she took it to production, they didn't put Britt off. And they kind of like brushed it off and played it like, kind of like it's not a big deal. You know, like they didn't take it as serious. They didn't take it as serious. And Kenya wanted her put out. Kenya wanted her to go. They didn't make her go anywhere. So Kenya was very upset and offended by that. She felt like, so anybody can threaten me as long as I've been a part of this show and I've been keeping this show afloat, because I mean, Kenya is good TV. We can't take that from her. She good TV. So she felt that production should have done more to protect her with the threat. And we all know that Britt was just talking, just running off at the mouth and just throwing cheap shots. But Kenya wanted her to feel the consequence. Kenya wanted her to really like she wanted to stick it to the man. Like, you can't come down here and act like that because we mean business. And they didn't do that. They didn't. I don't think Britt even got a strong talking to. I think that they may have just, I don't even know if they said nothing to Britt. I haven't heard anything like, they had a meeting with her, or so if they did, Kenya is really good. Really? Karen, you don't think Kenya good TV? Oh, Kenya is gone. Oh, Kenya gonna bring a moment at Kenya. Karen, you got to watch it over again. Oh my goodness, because like I said, I have never cared for Kenya. I always felt like she went too far below the belt to me. That's just always been my thought of Kenya. I mean, people love her, but I just be feeling like, why does she have to say that? Why does she, like how she used to do Marlo, and then how she treat women? Like, it's like, you know, it's always like a, you know, a little like, I don't like women that look down on other women. Like, you know, you kind of act like you up here and they down here. Like, everybody can get knocked down. It's only one him, and he can make all of this leave. So I just don't like the fact that, like, she called Brit a peon. You know, she peasant. She said Brit was a peasant. But I believe that she is entertainment. She definitely gonna make some head turns. Just like at that reunion when her and Portia got into it, and she brought that megaphone and kept antagonizing Portia. And then Portia finally jumped up and grabbed her hair and pulled her down. Because you just can't do that to everybody. Kenya is definitely, I mean, I don't like the way. Hey, Carla. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, she is somebody who is going to make a statement for you to remember. She is going to, whatever she gonna say something for you to remember. She is going to treat those women like they're not on her level. Like, I'm just, what? Oh my goodness, you can't even, oh, excuse me? Oh my gosh, are you serious? Ew. Like, she gonna treat you like you nothing. She gonna call you a peasant. She gonna tell you she ain't getting off her throne to address peasants. So she's going to make her moment. That's why Brit had to get as crunk as she got. That's why she went so far to bring out the tools. She was talking about the whips and the pow-pows and the pew-pews, because that's where that's where Kenya will take you. She will take you to a place where you would be talking about stuff that you wouldn't even be saying to them. You ain't even thinking about what you saying, because she done brought you all out your square. Because why does she have to call that woman a peasant? Why does she didn't even have to say that to her. She just always, I think she really is. She's somebody, like I said, her and Nene, you know, they, to me, and I used to like Nene. I didn't like Nene once her head got big. Once she started, you know, getting the big head. But Nene is, yeah, Kenya will do that. And Nene is good. Nene good TV too. So I just felt like she totally bombed this moment. Oh, I just feel like she really, especially once it aired, I don't like Nene no more, Karen. I used to love Nene. But once Nene got the big head, once she really started getting money and she started like dissing Greg like she did, and you know, she the breadwinner now, and she start acting like, oh, he can't handle it because I'm the breadwinner. And I know men, you know, go through that or whatever when he was used to being a breadwinner, but he also couldn't handle how big your head had gotten. Like, that was another thing that he was dealing with. It wasn't just that he was no longer the breadwinner and you were. It was that you just I mean, when he was the breadwinner, I'm sure he wasn't acting like that. He wasn't just, throwing around insults, hurling insults, and kind of she just. I used to really like Nene, and I just when she left the show, I was no longer a fan. But I feel like Kenya felt like before this aired, she felt like, wait till y'all see. Y'all gonna see. And now that she's gotten everybody's response, she's trying to plead her case. And nobody understands her. Nobody gets it. Nobody's understanding now because at the end of the day, everybody feels the same way. Why did you let her take over your event? If this was something that you longed for and you just been wanting to do this and this been in the works for so many years and this has been in the making and this has been your dream and you want your daughter to see you be a boss. You want your daughter to know that she can do anything and anything is possible. And you give that whole entire speech just for you to make it about another woman. Just for you to make it, just for you to give her all of that shine. You have totally ruined everything you worked so hard for so many years, because now guess what everybody want to know? Who is this Brick girl? Who is she? Where's she at? Where she come from? Who she used to, what she play on? Did she play on something? Who she married to? Where she work at? Do she live in Atlanta? Like, that's all the questions that people asking. People are asking, like, who is this Brick girl? Like, what do she do? What kind of business do she got? Everybody is asking that. What's her restaurant called? Is she the chicken and waffles girl? Everybody asking that. They're like, no, she not the chicken and waffles girl. So now Kenya has totally taken the attention off of her and just on a platter handed it, said, here, Britt, here you go. I don't need all this shine. You need it. You gonna get some shine. Here you go. Cause you gonna take it. I ain't gonna get no shine. And you lost your job. You lost your job. I know. I don't know either, Karen. I don't know her. I don't know. Hey, Melissa. Yes, she used her own event. That's what I said. I felt like you didn't want to use one of y'all dinners or y'all lunches or the girls are getting together. Her opening, yes, that was she missed the mark. Oh my God. Melissa, she missed the mark. She missed the mark. I said, oh, I am crying for her today because they have to live it 3 times. When they tape it, when they film it, when they see it, and then when it airs on TV. So she got to keep reliving this. And now everybody not going to say, I mean, you got your Kenya fans. Don't get me wrong. You got some Kenya fans that's saying, no, Kenya was right. And she should have did that. She needed to do something that was going to shut that girl up, because that girl shouldn't have threatened her with that, because you don't just do that to people. You don't threaten people with no pow and tell them you got that for them and you going to do this. So she had to show her something or whatever. So please believe you got your Kenya fans who just saying that, who feel like, no, Kenya was well within her right. And she should have done that. And I'm like, no. It says, and she seems so invested. She put too much work and higher invested. Yes, Melissa, that's the same thing I said. I said, you spent money on this? Girl, you spent money to find out what that girl... You spent money so that you could see her giving somebody some head. Like, girl, you couldn't have spent no money for this, girl. I know you didn't spend no money just so you could see her giving somebody some head. Is that what you paid for? I can't even see it with Betty Davis eyes. I can't see it. Like, what do you mean you paid your hard-earned money? Yes. Girl, Melissa, you better, everything expensive. Everything. Eggs is $25. Girl, everything is expensive. You did all of this. And because you don't like somebody, because somebody, they threatened you with a tool, girl, and then you showed a picture of her, okay, some nudes. Everybody, I will get naked right here on this. Who ain't seen some tits and some ass? Everybody that placed and seen tits and ass. That ain't even worth nothing. And she was giving somebody some head and the other one. What is so, I mean, what did you show? Girl, you ain't, I swear she ain't done nothing. If I was Brit, I wouldn't even be ashamed or nothing. I would hold my head up high. Well, hurts, can you feel it, sister girl? Nope, she didn't even stick around to see that. Nope, she didn't even stick around long enough to be ashamed. And when Kelly came out and Kelly walked away and said, oh no, you would not do that to my friend. And she was still there when Kelly was on the street waiting on Kelly to come. And I'm like, I mean, is this a big deal? Like, because these are all adults at this party. And everybody just looking like, because everybody was just so taken aback that you really, and you supposed to be Miss Classy Kenya, who is just so much above the rest and above everybody. And you just so classy, and you got the best class in the world, and you just so, oh, she's just so beneath me. Oh, and you all are just such peasants, and I'm so up here, and I'm so much, and you let her, oh, and then you hired the private investigator, and all he came up with was some alleged insurance fraud, some naked pictures, and her giving somebody some head. So what did you really do? Yeah, she disappointed everybody, Melissa. And I don't like her. But I actually, I was on her side before she did this, because I did feel like Britt was just doing too much. And I did feel like Britt really just wanted Kenya to notice her. I think she came on the show. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Right. I know, for $25. Yes. And I think that she, I think that Britt felt like when she, was casted for the show, she probably did get excited and say, oh, me and Kenya gonna be the best of friends. I can tell by her personality, and that's my favorite. And I love Kenya, and I can't wait till I get on there, because Kenya gonna be my homegirl. She probably told all her friends and her family that I bet you me and Kenya gonna be the coolest. Me and Kenya gonna really be cool. We gonna be cool. And then she got on there and Kenya didn't pay her dust. And then her feelings were hurt. So I can see that. I can honestly see that. And then I can understand, okay, and Britt, you saw that and you felt like I wanted you to be my big sis. I wanted you to take me under your wing and you make me fabulous and twirl, and I could be one of the twirlers and gone with the wind fabulous. And you could have taken me under your wing and done all of this. And we would have been so cool for the rest of our lives. But that's not how that went. And I think Britt was just really, really hurt. So I was on Kenya's side the entire time, because since the beginning, Britt was like, see me? See, I'm here. Britt, why you didn't kiss me like that? Why you didn't hug me like that? Why you didn't say hi to me like that? See, I'm here. Me, Britt, you don't see me? You didn't even say hi to me. You said hi to her happy. And when you said hi to me, it sounded sad. Why didn't you say hi to me? You didn't hug me. No, you gave me a pat on the back. You embraced her. Why didn't you hug me? And I just felt like, okay, Britt, calm down. Pipe down. She was like a little puppy dog on Kenya to me. I was like, oh my God, you making this girl feel bigger than she is. So I was on Kenya's side until last night. Blew my high all the way. I just was like, what? What? Where did we go? Karen, I think majority will. I want to say, I believe Portia will. I believe Shamia will. You know, her and Cynthia aren't even speaking because of that. Cynthia isn't even speaking to her because Cynthia said that her friend, Kenya is her friend. And she said, my friend is way better than that. My friend has way more going on than to do something that raunchy and make a statement so demeaning and dirty and unnecessary. And she said that Kenya is just too talented for her to have to dig in the mud like she did. And she said she just couldn't get with that. She said she did tell Kenya, you know, I'm ready to talk when you are. When you call me, I'm ready to talk. And I think Kenya was upset because she felt like Cynthia should have rolled with her. And so Kenya has not talked to Cynthia. But and Kelly gonna definitely, because Kelly and Britt are friends. So, but you see Angela already straddling the fence. Angela on Britt's side telling Britt, yeah, I understood because I said that you didn't strike me as that type of girl, and I didn't think you were that type of girl. I didn't think that you would do anything like that. Yeah, that did shock me. And then when she was with Kenya, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think Drew did too. Yep, Karen, you right. Yep, Angela and Drew will probably be the ones who will really be on Kenya's side, because Drew was one of the ones who was kind of still there. She was a little like maybe frowny a little bit, just a little bit, but I think it will come down to Drew and Angela. And Angela and Britt are going to fall out. Because Angela, you're gonna have to pick a side and stay on it, sweetheart. Are you on Kenya's side or are you on Britt's side? Because I would have said, Kenya, I was on your side until this day. After this day, I couldn't do it no more, because I never would have thought. Because had anybody else done that, Kenya would have been like, that's so déclassé. Oh my goodness, you are really gonna roll in the mud with her? Are you really giving her that much of your energy and your time? Kenya would have went off on somebody else if they would have went and printed some life-size posters of somebody showing their body and giving it some head. She would have definitely said, oh my goodness, are you really going to do this? You would really stoop this low? Oh my gosh. Yes. And anybody who thinks that Kenya was right is crazy, because that is not, I don't care what anybody, first of all, the lady is, Kenya, you saw they went back to the first seasons and Kenya showed her pow in the closet when she was talking to the light-skinned man with the lavender eyes. What's that man's name? Hey, Real Life Simulations. Thank you for joining. What was that, the light-skinned guy name who got into it with the guys? Her little friend. her little, how you doing, friend. She was showing him her pow pow in the closet. Like, these girls better not mess with me. So, okay, we've all brought up a pow pow. But ain't nobody gonna talk about using one. Nobody's gonna do anything with one. And so you knew, just like when you were in the season that you were in with your light-skinned, light-eyed friend, and you was showing him your tool, you wasn't gonna do nothing to nobody, and nobody fired you or put you out because you showed that, and she wasn't gonna do it either. She was not about to come to you with no pow pow. She just got ahead of herself. She was mad because her crush wasn't feeling her. Her girl crush wasn't feeling her. And she was just trying to go extreme like you did when you call her a peasant. That's all that was. And you really had to stoop that low in the mud as a grown, real grown lady at your big old age. Was that Brit or was that Yeah, that was Brit. Yep. Brit sure did. Hey, cousin. That's my cousin Leonard. Yes, that was Brit who said that was her daddy's sister, right? Her dad's sister that passed away. And she showed her aunt and she said that that's something that the family was dealing with. And that was real. That's true. That's something that they all were dealing with. That's my cousin. My little cousin Leonard. Yeah. So Britt had been dealing with that. Kenya wouldn't have known because she didn't care. She just wanted to, Kenya was just mad because she wanted to get that girl off the show. Production did not, Andy them, whoever, the powers that be, didn't feel like she should have left the show and should have got off. And they didn't put her off. Kenya felt like, I'm taking matters into my own hands and I'm about to squabble in the mud with her. Then she felt like, I'm about to do this. This is going to make a statement and everybody going to get on her for what she did to me. And it backfired. Period, point blank. That's all. That's it, and that's all. Poor thing. I feel sorry for Brit now. Kenya, I've been on Brit head the whole season since the season started. Nah, after you pull these shenanigans, nah, I ain't even on Brit head no more. Cause I feel sorry for the lady. Cause what now, and is this something that you want Brooklyn to be able to see? Once Brooklyn get older, is this what you want Brooklyn to be able to see? And do you think she gonna be like, Mommy, you really did get him. You got him, Mommy. I really liked how you did that. You went and dug up her pictures of her in an intimate space and you showed them to everybody at your party. You really did that, Mom. Like, what are you, like, where is that going? Because what happened to the mother? And you only paying attention to being a mother. And you got this big mother thing that you got to keep following and keep bringing up. And every time somebody say something, I'm a mother. And I'm a mother and I have a child. And if you saying that about me, you want to take food out of my child's mouth. So now you done went to the gutter and you showing this lady's embarrassing times off, and she wasn't even there to be embarrassed. So I mean, they had to tell her about it because she ain't even stick around to see the dang on pictures. They ain't gonna pull the pictures out talking about she was a video vixen. I'm like, Kenya, have we forgot where we come from? You was a video vixen too. I mean, I'm sure you had another word for it because you don't want to be called everything that everybody else is called. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. Y'all both were in videos being represented as the beautiful woman in the video, and you were hired for that. Yes, she did, Karen. Karen, Karen. Didn't she embarrass herself? She totally embarrassed. Over 50. We are over 50. Yes, it wasn't she real life simulations. She was a video vixen herself. I'm sure she calls it something else now. You know, when it involves her, it has to have a more classy name to it. I'm sure she's not gonna say, I was not a video vixen. I was a model. And I was just a model that was hired to Sandy Hush. I was a model and I was hired to yeah. That's what she gonna say. I was a model. I wasn't a video girl. I was a model that happened to showcase or then she gonna say I was being paid way more than they were. I was being paid way more money than they were being paid. Okay, Kenya. So you were a high class video vixen. You and Superhead was probably getting the same pay at the same time. So what we doing here? What we doing? You was probably you were doing the exact same thing. You was riding in the car with Jay-Z, just like Superhead, just like Britt, just like all the rest of them. So yeah, y'all, I did not like it. I didn't appreciate it. I think Kenya may only have one more episode before she makes her exit, or this may have been her last one. I don't know if she'll be. They said she was in 6 episodes. Yeah, Karen, they got rid of her. You saw at the end they had on there that they stopped filming with her. So I think that this may have been her last episode. I don't quote me on it, but I do. I really feel like she probably won't. If they got her on the next episode, it's probably very brief. Very, very brief. And she messed her bag up. I'm so mad about that too. Like Kenya was getting a nice bag for this. To go to dinner and the luncheons and talk some mess with some ladies. She was getting a pretty bag for that. She one of the OGs. Amongst all of these, her and Portia. Her and Portia was the only ones who was the yes, Karen. Yeah, her and Portia were the only like OGs left here because, you know, Shamia was the friend. Drew had only done a couple of episodes, so she hasn't been here long. And then, you know, Angela, Kelly, they all knew. And Britt, yeah, they knew. Angela, Kelly, and Britt are new. Shamia was a friend. Drew only been on a couple seasons. Cynthia is only a friend too. Cynthia not even on the show this season. She was just a friend too. So Portia and Kenya were the only ones left. They was the only ones. Shamari will be the queen of the show. Karen, you are so right. And now we about to watch Portia show her behind on Shamia. I'm saying Shamari. I mean Shamia. Portia about to you hear me? Portia about to start showing her behind to Shamia because she mad that Shamia is the star of the show and that Portia's supposed to be the one, supposed to be that girl this season. Now you all the plans done been changed because Kenya messed it up for you because you and Kenya not about to be running these streets together because they was gonna reconcile and try to take down Atlanta. Nah, Kenya done messed that up. She done got put off. Yes. Yes, exactly. Kenya messed that up. They gonna bring freaking Phaedra. They gonna bring Phaedra back at the later on in the season. Phaedra gonna come back later on, and then her and Portia will of course team back up. But by that time, Portia and Shamia's friendship will be kaput because Portia not gonna be able to congratulate Shamia like Shamia congratulates Portia. That's so unfortunate. I hate that for them. But that's really what's about to go on. Yeah, Kenya gotta revisit this next season. She won't be in season 16. She's toe that all the way up. So it'll just be Portia. Portia will be the only OG on the show until Phaedra, comes back. And Portia not even about to bring a good light to herself. So she gonna be doing whatever it is that she doing, which is so sad. But yeah, that was just the end. That's what Kenya did while she trying to get somebody else put off. Hey baby. my daughter over here, she talking about Portia Miss Underground Railroad. Portia say, who was driving the train? Who drive? The train had to have somebody driving it. It had to have a driver. Who was driving the train? It's like, oh God. That in 250 days in a year. Yes, I'll definitely will. Yeah. She said it was 265. Hello, Vibers. She said it was 265 days in a year. I said, Portia. Oh, Jesus. Portia forgot. She forgot them other ones. She didn't remember. She was just, Mimi, she was just off her square a little bit. Don't be trying to do Portia. She knew that didn't nobody drive that train. She was just seeing if y'all knew. Mimi say her. Karen said, dumb as a rock. Mimi say her days just go by a little faster than ours. So that's why she only got 265 and we got 365. Mia, you know somebody was driving that train We just don't know yet. But somebody was definitely driving that train. And I know you didn't watch it, Mia. You didn't even see Kenya Clown show her behind like she did. She showed her behind while she was trying to show somebody else's behind. So sad. That poor lady. Nah, she done gave that lady more clout and more sympathy than I'm sure she would have wanted to. That lady got so much clout and so much sympathy. She had so many people checking on her, seeing how she was doing, and trying to see how she felt about this, and talking about Kenya and how petty she was, and everybody giving her sympathy. Ain't nobody giving Kenya none. And I'm sure she didn't mean for it to go that way. Crazy lady. Ugh. I just hate that she took herself down like that. And then she went out like that. Then you gonna get fired after you do some dumb mess like that. And now you just look at your fans. Look what you done did to your fans, lady. You did all this? Yes. Kenya did all this. She did all this that Robin did, Mimi. She did it all. She showed that at her party, her opening of her hair store or her hair spa. She showed pictures of this lady's nude and showed this lady in compromising positions with her male suitors. And she felt like she was embarrassing her, and she embarrassed her own fool self. Because not everybody walking around trying to check her temperature, wondering is Kenya okay? Because she did something stupid like that. Who would try to do, what grown woman over 50 would want to do some mess like that to somebody? Who thinking of some revenge like that? Like, where is your mind at? Why is this something that you felt that you should have yeah, she did the Nicole Richie. Yeah. She exposed that lady's tatas and her babas. I said, Kenya probably done... Let me shut up, because I can't even... YouTube gonna be to cut me off. Yeah, she was. She was like 19 or 20. She was younger. Like I said, Amia, I said, Kenya act like she never did nothing with no man. And ain't never recorded or filmed it, allegedly. Yeah, Kenya's a lot older than her. Yes. But she acting like she younger than her. She said it was because the lady threatened. They got into it last week, and the lady said she don't know who she messing with because I got pow pows, and yeah, the babas. She said I got pow pows, and I got She said she had something and pow pows. So Kenya felt like she was threatening her with the tools. And so she said that she had to think about something to do in retaliation of that. Of her saying, she didn't say specifically that I will do this to her. She just said it like, I got this and I carry these. So, Kenya, of course took that as a threat. And Kenya was offended by that. But she was also upset that production and Andy and them didn't do anything to punish her for doing that. So she felt like she would take matters into her own hands. And yeah, that's what she did. That's the idea. And Cynthia said, I wish she would have consulted with me before she did that. And I don't think she consulted with anybody, because I don't think she wanted anybody to tell her this is Trump's America. This is Trump's America, I'm telling you. Only because of Trump. It's only going on. This is what's happening. Because this is Trump's America. People think that they can do some stuff like this and get away with it. Because she felt like Britt didn't get the punishment that she felt like she should have gotten. So she said, you know what? I'm going to take matters into my own hands. And then Candy is my girl. I love me some Candy. Mimi and Asia always talk about how I love some Candy. But Candy said that they always let Kenya go below the belt. So they should have Kenya just used to doing that. She just used to, and I said, Candy, you are so wrong on this one, baby. That's not right. Kenya is wrong, sweetheart. She should not have done that to that lady. You don't pull nobody's stuff out of the No. You don't pull nobody's most intimate moments of their life and you try to put them on blast. Mimi talking about, y'all don't get her started on Candy. Shut up, Mia. I was the man. Mia, shut up. Mia talking about, we gonna be here all night. No. This time, I'm mad at Candy. I'm not happy with her right now. They swear I will windmill for Candy. I do not be windmilling for Candy like that, y'all. I just think Candy is a cool person. My kids be messing with me talking about, oh, there she go. Don't you say nothing about her Candy. Don't you say nothing about Candy. I just feel like Candy is a cool girl, but I don't agree with Candy on this one. Candy feel like they always been letting Kenya run amok, so they need to just keep letting her run amok. And I'm like, dang, so since they just let her always run amok, she should just keep on doing. Somebody got to stop her at some point. But that's why she felt like wasn't nothing going to happen to her when she went all out like this. She felt like she got it going on. Mia, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to beat my child. Oh, Jesus. I've been on here 78 minutes. Oh, y'all. Oh, it's been real. That was my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. Y'all go grab y'all. Oops. Sorry. Y'all go grab y'all a membership, please. I have a 3-tier membership. $1.99, $2.99, $3.99. No, it's 4-tier actually. $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, and $5.99. And it's something different in every package. So you all can go and review all of the memberships to see which one would suit you. And I would appreciate if you all would join some part of the membership in some shape, form, or fashion. That would be really, really nice. It's been real, Swig Squad. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. I will be back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat station. Thank you, Real Life Simulations. And hope you all can join me then. Good night. This is Tea with the Diva, and I am out. Peace, y'all.